very, very brown. Like almost like a deep red. So this is what takes the most amount of time. Now this is fairly brown. I'm gonna add my tomato puree. And you mix it like this with your onion, ginger, garlic paste. And then you fry this. You cook the tomatoes for another 15-20 minutes, or as however time it takes to get it fully cooked. And the color will change to like deep red. The more you fry it on low steam and keep on stirring without burning it, the tastier will be your base masala for any dish whatsoever. After a few minutes of frying this, I'm gonna add my mix of masalas. This is dhania, that is coriander powder, jeera powder, garam masala powder, haldi, red mirchi powder, salt, and I've also added a bit of tandoori masala powder. And you mix it with water. Never add the dry masalas directly to your pot, and that doesn't give the good flavor. You should always mix it with water and then add it. In goes my masala paste, the dry masalas. Keep the heat to medium. Make sure you don't make it too high because you don't want to burn the masalas. Look at the color. See how it's changing? This needs to be like, I'm gonna fry this even more on low heat. Basically that's the hardest part of making a good Indian curry, or rather the base of any curry, whether you add rajma to it or a chole, or you're making a chicken, or you know, any sort of that dish. This is where the trick is. You need to keep on frying it on a very slow flame until the color really changes from translucent red to brown to another a deepish red color. I've added green chilies to this now, chopped green chilies. Again, it depends on your taste and how much spicy you want to make. Notice the color, how it's turned, and you see how the masala is leaving the oil. That's when you know that it's almost about to be done. Try tasting the masala a little bit from the thing. Yummy. Now I've already boiled, like soaked the chole overnight, and I boiled them, and make sure it's like boiled so much that it's like you can squash them with your finger between your thumb and your forefinger, and that's when it's the best. What you should do is try to squash them beforehand before you add it to your masala, because a little bit of squashed ones are good, and that improves the consistency of the entire chole dish. That's basically the chef style of Indian chole. Not all of them, but just take like a few of them and just crush it. That's good. Now you mix the chole with the masala and on a low steam, and then kind of cook it in the masala so that the chole kind of gets mixed with the masala well. And while the chole is kind of getting mixed with the masala, what I'm going to be doing is, before I add water to it to make the gravy, make sure you heat the water. Don't put just normal temperature or cold water into this. That's going to destroy all the taste. Now it's time to add the water. Don't just add a lot of water, just keep adding little by little and then you can just check how much of gravy you really want. This looks like the perfect consistency, but I'm going to add a little bit more water because I would want the chole to be cooked well. So that's like almost done, but I'm going to let this water boil. Boil it well, so simmer it and boil it well, and next we'll check the taste. Basically we'll taste the salt. Okay, so it's done. I tasted the salt. It's perfect. I did not have to add anything later. Just to garnish it at the end, I'm a huge fan of coriander, so I have some chopped coriander here. So just add them generously all over. You can add as much as you want. If you want to add a little bit of fresh cream on top of it, you may do that. I don't want to add fresh cream, just want to make it as low calorie as possible. You may add a little bit of dahi as well. Just beat the dahi and add it. If you think that it has become way too much spicy and you want to bring down the spice level a bit, you can add a little bit of beaten dahi to it. And that's it. My chole is ready.